Just by way of background, on the 17th of December 2012, I issued a public statement welcoming SAFA's decision to institute a commission of inquiry into reports of alleged match fixing ahead of the 2010 FIFA World Cup. I also undertook publicly to give my full support and cooperation to help bring the matter to finality. I point out that notwithstanding the serious implications of the FIFA report and the alleged role in such incidents, I was neither consulted prior to the release of the provisional FIFA report nor invited to any of the meetings where the report was concerned. You will recall that there was a lot of frenzy at the time when this report was announced. There were meetings by various stakeholders. You'll be interested to know that I was not invited to any of those meetings. That's number one. Number two, the report itself, when it was prepared, the preliminary report, which is the basis of the investigation that FIFA conducted, when it was announced, like you, I heard it for the first time. I was not invited to comment on the preliminary report that was issued by FIFA. It was not sent to me. I was never even asked to challenge some of the issues that had been raised. To date, and despite repeated requests, I have not officially received a copy of the report from either SAFA or FIFA, despite the fact that my name is mentioned in that report. So that's the first key issue that I just want to address through this process. I've repeatedly and publicly demanded an independent and impartial investigation into allegations of match fixing involving those Bafana friendly matches which took place in May 2010, organized under the auspices of SAFA, and I refer to these as the FIFA friendlies. There has been much speculation over the allegations, and the names of many individuals were mentioned in regard to the alleged match fixing, including my own. I was CEO of SAFA at the time. On several occasions, I have publicly stated that I would give my full cooperation and support to an inquiry that SAFA had proposed, provided that such an inquiry was impartial and independent. And I want to emphasize this, that for as long as there's an inquiry which is impartial and independent, I will definitely support such an inquiry. I also called for an independent process that would afford anyone accused or suspected of any wrongdoing an opportunity to tender evidence and challenge the allegation made by either FIFA or SAFA. On the 7th of November 2014, I issued a statement in which I publicly disclosed that I had formally requested the Office of the Public Protector, Advocate Thuli Madonsela, to investigate these allegations. I have a copy of the letter. I subsequently received a response from the Public Protector's Office via my attorneys, advising that the matter did not fall within the ambit and the mandate of the Public Protector's Office, notwithstanding the public interest in the matter. And as such, my request that the match-fixing allegation be investigated by the Public Protector was declined. The Public Protector's Office, instead, recommended that the investigation be referred to the South African Police Service. Pursuant to the recommendation of the Public Protector, I duly referred the matter to the South African Police Service. I addressed a letter to the National Police Commissioner, Me Rie-Pierre. I was then subsequently informed by the South African Police Service that this matter actually was investigated by the police, and the matter was then handed over to the National Prosecution Authority for a decision. I was further informed that the NPA had declined to prosecute these allegations of match fixing on the basis that there was insufficient evidence to support or sustain a criminal prosecution for match fixing, and that this decision was communicated to SAFA. Now this begs the question, why did SAFA not publicly disclose the fact that the police have indeed investigated this matter? And secondly, that the National Prosecution Authority had taken a decision not to prosecute. And so SAFA must, number one, give you a copy of the letter from the National Prosecution Authority where this decision was taken. I was investigated by the police, and the National Prosecution Authority took a view that there was no evidence of match fixing on my part. Notwithstanding my repeated public undertakings to cooperate with any independent investigation or inquiry into the allegations, my name had been mentioned along with other names in the speculation relating to these incidents. In response, I have written several letters to SAFA, and this was done directly by my attorneys since 2012 in an effort to prepare for the Commission of Inquiry. My repeated requests for access to certain information have been ignored by SAFA. I requested access to the following. Number one, I requested access to the laptop that was assigned to me during my tenure as the CEO of SAFA. Number two, I requested access to emails that are sitting on the SAFA server. I also requested minutes and reports from the various committees of SAFA. In desperation, I filed an application in terms of the Promotion of Access to Information Act, requesting the provisional report by FIFA after its investigation on match fixing in 2010. Secondly, I requested access to my laptop issued to me at the time by SAFA. And three, I requested access to the SAFA email server. On the 3rd of November 2014, I received a notice from FIFA that based on its preliminary investigation, which received the assistance of SAFA, that I would be informed that FIFA, my apologies, I was informed that FIFA had determined that there was a prima facie case suggesting that I had committed FIFA Code of Ethics violation. I was also told that I was a party to the investigation on match fixing. I was then contacted by FIFA indicating certain allegations had been leveled against me under the code. I then responded to FIFA through my legal representative, this gentleman over here. His name is Stephen Thompson, by stating that I could not meaningfully participate in any process without the cooperation and support of SAFA. I requested their assistance in procuring these documents, but they declined my request. They refused to give me access to the information that I need for purposes of framing a response to the allegations. In my view, the FIFA investigation remains incomplete and remains unreliable for as long as these documents are not included in the investigation. On the 28th of November 2014, FIFA wrote to me to notify me that I would be contacted by the Chief of Investigation for the FIFA Security Department with a specific request for documents and information. This was after I had repeatedly requested the documents from SAFA, which were vital to my response, and after I had implored FIFA to assist in securing these documents from SAFA. So you have this crazy situation where people are asking me for information that they are sitting with, and that is SAFA. SAFA is sitting with this information that I've requested. They have refused to give me access to this information, and yet FIFA, in its own infinite wisdom, because they think they own the world and they think that they can do whatever they want wherever they go in the world, in their own infinite wisdom, FIFA then says, I must give them documents. I think you need to be made aware that I refused to cooperate with FIFA and their investigation until I received complete and unfettered access to the documents and records critical to my response, and which SAFA has steadfastly refused to make available to me. Well, how do you expect me? I've requested information. How do you expect me to respond and give you documents which are sitting with you? After many months of waiting, I eventually contacted FIFA to make a statement in response to the charges leveled against me. At the outset, I was perplexed by the hostile attitude exhibited by the investigators, who practically insisted on denying me my rights to be represented by my lawyers. Despite being aware of the fact that I had been denied access to all records and documents necessary to assist me in refuting the allegation made against me, and having refused to intervene and direct SAFA to make those documents available, FIFA demanded that I nonetheless appear at the hearing in Zurich and at my own cost. In the meantime, FIFA has itself been plagued by one corruption scandal after another, including allegations of bribery involving $10 million relating to South Africa's bid to host the 2010 FIFA World Cup. These allegations, ladies and gentlemen, came as no surprise to me. But this is not a forum to deal with it. The truth about the $10 million will come out. Watch this space. And the reason I conclude that FIFA was not interested in the truth was because at the end of the day, somebody or FIFA itself had to find a scapegoat. And that scapegoat is Leslie Sedibe. Now I want to conclude by saying this to you. In terms of Section 35 and Section 34 of the Constitution of the Republic, this section deals with the rights to a fair trial. Section 34 provides that everyone has the right to have any dispute that can be resolved by the application of law decided in a fair public hearing before a court, or where appropriate, another independent and impartial tribunal or forum. And in terms of the right to a fair hearing, these rights involve and encompass an opportunity to be heard, the right to challenge and adduce evidence in relation to whatever documents that are exchanged between the parties, including the right of appeal and the equality of all the parties. In terms of the right of access to the court, Section 34 of the Constitution encompasses this right. In terms of the right to receive notice, the right to a fair hearing, no court order should be made without affording the other side a reasonable opportunity to state its case. I have not been given a fair chance to present my side of the story. This was nothing short of a kangaroo court. These cowards, and I call them cowards, both from SAFA and from FIFA, are afraid to come before an independent tribunal. And I want to make this point. We will meet in court. SAFA and FIFA, I will see you in court.